second topic, football tactics. Well, if we speak about football analysis, football tactics is one of the important things in these courses. You cannot escape from it being an analytic. You cannot escape for making the answers for the staff, for the team, what to do and how to adapt. Football tactics is a very big topic. It's hard to talk about everything. It's hard to talk about every tactic, about every adaptation. But let's focus on the base, which is understanding what the process is like. It's like analyzing your team and also analyzing the opposition for certain points, key points, that are the crucial points for having a correct answers for the staff and team. So let's start how to understand them and how to use them for your good play of your team, and also understanding what the opposition is doing. Let's talk about your playing model, because this is the important factor for understanding tactical analysis. Finding answers has to start from which kind of team you are. If you are a team basing on counterattacks, you have to look for different things. If you are a possession-based team, you will look for different things. If you are a team basing on set pieces, you will look for different things. And this is not the one way to seeing football. Everybody has a different perspective. So it's good to having different perspective in the staff and discussing which is the best answer for the questions that football analysis bring. So first thing is understanding how you play. If you understand how you play, then you can understand what to do with the oppositions. And as I spoke before, you don't create questions, you give answers. And that's the base. Everybody can create questions. Not a few people can create answers. And of course, dividing it in team tactics and individual tactics will be a topic that we will speak on the further slides. Let's start from this clip that can explain a little bit how tactic works. So we have a team defending in the 1-4-4-2 system, and we have a team playing 3-4-3. The possession is in the middle, and how we understand how to make progress in football in terms of implication of tactics is very well shown on this clip. If we start from the beginning, we see we have four options for progressions with the ball. If we can progress directly in behind, we have to do it right away. This is the easiest options of going to the penalty box and creating situation. If you can do it with one pass, you have to do it with one pass. And if you want to create a solution for this, create it, because it will be the easiest way of creating a chance or creating a goal. But what is the problem? This is the most difficult pass. It's not easy to play in the right moment for all the opposition and have a chance for this one pass, because the opponent will fall back and they will try to stop it. So if you cannot do it, you have to create a second option. If you cannot go directly in behind, you have to beat two lines. And this is how you need to understand the process of understanding football analytics. It's the base of creating the simplest solutions for the questions that you create. So in this clip, if you cannot go in behind, you have to see the players that is in between the defensive and the central mid lines, because that can create the most progression and that can keep you close to the opposition goal. But it's also a difficult pass, because the opposition will close the lines, the opposition will change the body posture for not giving you the pass, and it will be difficult to not losing the ball. But if you cannot do so, you have to check the third option, the third solution, which is handling the ball in between the center mids and the forwards. It can make the progression for you to turning up the pitch and also making the progression as you like. So if you understand me from this position, you need to make these answers how to, in 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, make the most progression that you can. And football analytics and football tactics has to create so, because every time you make this progress and you make the answers how to do it, will make a good impact for your team. You can see also the fourth options, which is on the side, but also on the side it's most difficult to go to the goal because you have to make crosses, you have to make difficult duels on the side. It doesn't create much for your goal. And as you see from this clip, if you don't make this progression, if you don't make it and you don't make solutions, the opposition will have a chance. So you have to create the right answers and right ideas from your opposition and playing model analysis to make the right progressions towards the goal of your opposition. And this is how I understand tactics, and this is how I'm building my analysis base. So we had a little bit of the middle block, as you see, and we see also the progression. But what is the live or die in football? The live or die is the golden zones. And we have 2 golden zones in football. As you see from this map, which is the goals from Legia Warsaw since 2019 to 2023, you can see that the majority of goals were scored from the 11-meter or even close line. If it's a tendency, not only in Legia Warsaw, but in every team, this is the place that you have to have the crucial pass, and this is the place that you have to enter. So if you can see there is not a lot of goals outside the penalty box, you have to do everything to get as close as possible, because this will give you the best results. In any terms, you can have the K pass or a shot from there, you have to make it. And creating this kind of passing lanes or creating these shots, I don't know, from set pieces, from direct play, for in between the play, from dribble. But in any way, the most important factor is to be there and have the passes there. So let me assure you that in every team, the drill is the same, and the consequences of being in the penalty box is the same. Let's look of this clip of Bayer Leverkusen, which is doing phenomenal this season. They are playing in the black and red, having possession football, turning the passes, turning around, not losing the ball in the crucial areas, but they are doing everything to get as close to the penalty box as possible, repossessing the ball and a pass. The pass is finishing where? In the golden zone. You can see a lot of things coming on in this clip that can show you what is the right way. Let's go back a little bit. Let's see. They are not losing the ball in the crucial match. They cannot give the opposition the counterattacks. They are opening this can to go as forward as possible, winning the dribbles, going in between the line, losing the ball, but with many players on the side of the ball, they can repossess it as well. Also, the defensive line is going forward and replacing the players that are going forward, and then the opposition has problems because they are moving, throws the ball, opening the penalty box as much as possible. And now, one crucial dribble and the golden zone is open. So, if you can see from the Bayer Leverkusen clip, you have to do everything in terms of playing model as different as you like, to get this final pass, to get this final goal from this space. Also, what it gives you, if you are creating a good compact structure, as Leverkusen is doing here, it's difficult for the opposition. As here you can see two number 8s, you can see the defensive line, you can see the wing backs coming back. It's difficult for opposition, if you go to the golden zone, to move out of it. They are going a good diagonal pass, they are trying to move, but the defensive line is going down. Down is the position with the striker. So Leverkusen is doing everything to create chances in the golden zone and not to let the opposition go to their golden zone. And in low defense, we will speak right now what is the difference, because the living is in the opposition box and the dying can be on your box. Let's see the golden zone in the defensive zone. If we see the goals from Legia Warsaw, we also see the goals that can be on the opposition side. So if you're scoring the goals for the 11-meter all-closer line, you're also losing the goals from the same line. And this clip shows from Raków Częstochowa, which is practically defending one of the best defending structures in low defense, what you have to do to defend it with your life, and what do you have to do to not lose goals. We can see here the determination and the process that is giving it in the training model, also in the understanding of the playing model, what to do to win. It's a simple clip that shows how important is not only to be in the golden zone, but also defend the golden zone. And this is what football tactics is about learning those things and implementing those things to the players. It's massive determination to stop these two shots, which is from the golden zone, which would probably be a goal, but you can see the team is ready for understanding how important it is. And this is what I want you to understand as the base of the football tactics. So by understanding the golden zones, you can go directly into the segmentation of how to understand opposition analysis. Of course, I spoke about it before. To start with it, you have to know directly what kind of playing model you have and what kind of playing model you created, because the playing model of your team is the base of opposition analysis, and also is the base how you can adapt, if you can adapt, to a different playing style. This is more theory-based segment that will show you the 15 points about opposition analysis and step-by-step understanding how analysis has to be made. So the first point is directly team formation and tactical setup. It can show you how the team can adapt, and if it can adapt, what is the tactical approach of the opposition at what they can do against your team. What is their playing style? Is this possession style? Is this counter-attacking style? You have to know how to adapt to them to have the right outcome of your analysis. Also, the second important thing is the key players. Of course, the individual player information can give you an upper hand how to stop the best players, what kind of movements do they do, when they shoot, for the goalkeeper, for the defenders, also for the midfield players, if they are more progression type team or progression type players, how to stop them, which leg is worst, what they can do, how to provoke them. All is important in terms of analysis. Also, set pieces is a crucial part of football that mostly over 30 or 40% of goals can be scored. It all depends on the playing model, but if you have a team that is big and having a lot of opportunities from the set pieces, you have to know how they attack, how they can adapt, and what kind of solutions do they have about your defensive style of defense, because you can mark individually, you can mark mix, or you can mark zone. So if they are playing the teams that are playing similar to you, you have to check it out what they did and if it was successful. Also, how you can use the set pieces for your advantage. Throw-ins, free kicks, corners, it can be a big advantage. I assure you that set piece analysis is as much important as the tactical as it gets. And for the 4 point is, I think, what football is coming to is the transition moments, because you can set all the possession type clips for your analysis, but you have to remember that most of the game will be a transition moment, and what you can do in the offensive transition, how you can move out, how you can go out of the pressure if the pressure is occurring after the ball lost. It's very important because it's the biggest part of the game that you have to control. Also in the defensive transition, if you go back, do you attack, how many players are up front, how you can stop them, when you can stop them. It's very important for your defensive line, your number 8s or your wingers, to go back, to rebuild the position, also to have offensive transitions when you get the ball back. The 5th one is the pressure triggers. If you can provoke the players to go out of the zone, you will create space. How to do it, with what kind of players you can do it, and with what kind of momentum you can do it is your choice of analysis. If you have a high pressure team, you will have to play out of the pressure many times, and you have to drop out with the players to create space. Or either if you have a team that is having a high pressure, high defensive line, you can use the space in behind. If you have a low pressure team, it will be a little bit difficult to handle them in the pressure zones, but you can also make some provocations with the players, stop the ball, force them in. So it's very important for you to know what kind of situation will trigger the opposition pressing moments. Of course, player movement patterns is a little bit more also individual, but you have to know what kind of movements do they do. Do they do the movements to drop, to play in between the lines? Do they move in behind to attack the space? Do they wait for the transition to go for the ball, out the ball? So this is very important to have the right patterns, what happened in certain game moments. The defensive shape, which is number 7, can show you what you can do in positional attack. It's formation based, but also if it's more dependable on individual position, or if it's more zonal. In zonal, you will have a little more space in between the lines. In individual, you have to look for the space in behind, or to win the dribble 1v1. So it's very important to know the defensive shape of the opponent and the gaps you can use to have the good situation. The attacking patterns of the opposition team is also very important. It's the number 8 of our list. And you have to know how they can go in the final third, what they do in the final third. So what they can do. If they're a crossing team, is a dribble team, is there a shooting team? There's many types of teams that you have to be ready in implementing the trainings and also in the individual information analysis that can help you prevent this kind of attacking patterns and also have good transitions from repossessing the ball. Weak foot analysis can show individual information for the players. If they are playing a striker left-footed, if he always shoot left, if he always going to the left side, the defenders has to know it. And making the maps, making the individual analysis for the players of your team, it has to be implemented in that knowledge. Also, individual defensive abilities. If you have your strikers and they want to know what to do with the defenders, they have to know what are their weak sides, how they react on 1v1, how they react if we are in the box. This is important individual information which you have to give to your players to have the best outcome. Also, goalkeeper analysis, it's number 11, so it has to be divided also for the goalkeeper coach to know how the goalkeeper of the opposition reacts for the shoots, for the crosses. It can give you an upper hand of the attacking patterns of your team. If it's a high defending goalkeeper that you can play directly or shoot in behind. If it's a goalkeeper that's staying mostly on the line, you have to know that and you have to implement that in your analysis. Also the discipline of the players. If you have some players that are very aggressive in the duels that you know that will have yellow and red cards, also you have to use it as a game plan, and also the individual players of your team has to know how to use it as well. I'm not speaking about provoking any kind of situations, but having one player more on the pitch can be a crucial thing in terms of the result. The 13th point is injury and the level of fatigue of the team. If the team is playing every 3 days, they will probably make some rotations. Also, that can have a more impact on the injuries. So it's very important for you to know the correct squad and what they are capable of rotating the players. And if they are having tired players on the pitch, also you have to know what kind of side you can use, what kind of situation you can use by having them in 1v1 situations. So it's really dependable on the game moment, but every team that has 3 days of play and then regeneration, it's not easy to have the full squad ready and going on and mentally ready. So you have to know it and you have to implement it in your analysis. Very important 14th point is match history. If you played this rival before, what kind of maneuvers did they do against you? If it was successful or not successful, basing on your and their tactic. If it's the same coach, he will probably use the same method if it was successful. If it's not, you have to do analysis what the players can do individually against us, because this is the best material to show the players, because the best material is this what they do against the opposition, and that would be the best footage you can use. And the last point is adaptability. What kind of situation can change when you are losing or winning 1-0 or 2-0? If the opposition is adapting, is the opposition changing their style of play? It's very important for you to know, to have these points and be ready what kind of situation can occur if they are going to high press or they will stay in their structure. It's very important for you to know how to adapt in certain score position. And these are the 15 most important points from my perspective for you to understanding what is opposition analysis and what is the right process to have of understanding how to make the best analysis.